Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 884. No sex in USA. How civilizations collapse, and what we're going to do today is we're going to review this study that came out that's talking about what is happening right now in the United States, where it is the lowest amount of people having sex in decades. And the projections are for these numbers to continue to go down. So we're going to talk about why that's happening, which is social media is the main culprit. And I would say, actually, you know what? No, it's the supply and demand, which we're going to talk about. It's going to be a long, deep episode, just so you know. This is not something I can just summarize in just a few seconds. But if you actually want to know what is going on from a psychological standpoint, as you guys know, I have my bachelor's degree in psychology as well. So I know exactly what's happening. I've researched it. So we're going to go over some societies in the past as well that went through these periods of sexlessness, and we're going to talk about what happened to them and kind of where we are now with what's happening in America and where the future is heading. So if you're a guy that wants to actually figure out why your dating life is harder than you want it to be, that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. And we're going to talk about how to overcome it at the end. But we have to give you all of the backstory so you can understand what's going on. Because also a lot of guys are getting like overly disheartened about the lack of their, dating life. But there is a gigantic reason why. We're going to teach you how to overcome it. So we're in the new studio. Slight upgrades today, as you can see. Shout out to Johnny Bills from the Fresh Fit podcast came over. This is stage 1 of the upgrade. We're going to continue to get better. So if you're a first timer, you got in at a good time, because we're only going to get better. So let's get started with today's episode.
Connection established.
Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something else to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating.
I am teaching you how to be strong. I am teaching you how to be powerful. So when bad things happen to you, you don't quit.
Okay, because you don't know how.
Because you don't know.
No, if I'm not going to explain to myself.
In normal conversation where people aren't sitting around and patronizing you because you're loud and obnoxious, and a lot of people don't want to confront you and tell you that. But I'll tell you that right now, young lady. You're very loud and obnoxious, and you're rude.
You wanted to blow it up and make me seem like something I'm not, and I didn't appreciate that. But that's okay. You can do what you want to do for your content.
Oh boy, somebody's triggered.
And
She's triggered.
No, Adam sent me a clip.
You should want a woman that you can build with.
She can build me a sandwich.
My man,
it's common sense in every other country in the god world, but here you got to get out a god Venn diagram and be like, hey, don't post half-naked photos of yourself because you're gonna attract predators.
What's up, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. We did some adjustments with the microphone and the camera. As you can see, we're coming in crystal clear, better than before. And if you're just tuning in right now, we also have this one right here, camera number 2. So, excited to get things going. How's everybody doing today? So, also, you may have noticed it's about 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we started the show. how do you guys feel about that time? Let me know in the comments, in the chat. If you want to send a super chat, you could be featured on the show. Go ahead and just click the link below. And yeah, so here's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a long episode, but this is an episode that if you stick around, pay attention, you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to understand the whole situation that's happening in America right now. And it's the sexlessness crisis right now in the United States. And so the biggest thing that you need to understand is the number one culprit of why dating is bad in America. We're going to cover that here in just a second. As you know, we did a whole week of amazing shows last week, from Sadia Khan to, talking about how this incel culture is causing this political violence. That's a big part of today's episode as well. We're going to be this is not the first time in history that this has happened. This is a devastating time in American history to witness such a thing happening to a person who truly just didn't deserve it, quite frankly. That was just some straight up psychopathy. And it turns out, I said this guy's probably an incel. Turns out, he had a transgender girlfriend, man to woman, whatever, okay? He wasn't having organic sex with a hot babe, okay? Period. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these school shooters and stuff, if these guys had a beautiful woman at home, loving them, kissing them, telling, oh, you're amazing, you can go for your dreams, he wouldn't be sitting around getting radicalized and wanting to kill innocent people. Like that this is all connected. I am not trying to connect this to get some marketing angle. This is, like I said, and I think nobody is really talking about this in this space. But as you guys know, I'm very fascinated and involved with psychology, and I've just recently moved back to America because I've been living in Japan for 8.5 years, in Tokyo since 2017. So you guys are living in this stuff in America, so you can't see how I see. And I'm a guy with game on top of that. Now, there is opportunity right now to get a girlfriend that has never been available before. But the caveat is that you truly have to be a strong man. I'm not talking like muscle strong, like strong in your heart. We're going to cover all that and more. So let's do a real quick little episode. We're going to do comment review on the last episode. I didn't do comment review all week last week. Do you guys like comment review? Let me know if you still like it. I like doing it. This was the episode with Wraith. We had 152 likes, 3.1K views. Good stuff. Jason says, rest in peace, Charlie, Thor, and all those men who stood up for what they believe in. Thank you so much. Mandingo says, this trainer was completely brainwashed to hate white males and himself. This is all connected to the incel thing as well. Jacob says, glad the FBI took over this case so the progressive DA can't go easy on him. Shout out to the other part of the world, Krakow, second biggest, Poland. Speak facts, my brother. Thank you, Cubs on PL. I heard Poland is amazing. I want to go out there. Marriage causes divorce all the way from the UK. Crazy how John is talking about the real harsh reality of the story. This guy was extremely frustrated, had a lot of pent-up anger. He didn't know about John's program. John could have saved this guy, made him high value, got him sloppy top, and well-earned release. Facts. Sad how we lost future president just because this guy didn't know about MLDM or RIP Charlie. Yeah, man. It's just wild. NBA Crypto Boy, my homie, says 4 p.m. or morning is best. That's where we're at right now. So are you in the audience, NBA Crypto Boy? I'm in bed early. Thanks for the stream. Rest in peace, Charlie. Mr. DC Comics, let's be real. This has CIA all over it. Oh, boy. I don't know. Oh, did that sound come through? Let me check real quick. Did you guys hear the sound effect? Oh, I don't think you did. Now you should hear it. Now that should have gone through. Still working the kinks out, but I like the new set. How are you guys liking it so far? You deleted my comment calling the shooter a fag. I don't know. This is my first time checking the comments right now. That was probably a YouTube auto delete, Ramsey. I do not delete comments unless it's like put your crypto wallet number in here or something, crypto scam shit. This has CIA written all over it. Facts, bro. Facts. They knew Charlie Kirk was the future, so they took him out before he could unleash his true potential. We all know who runs the show and why. He was waking up to the new college students and future voters, was bringing awareness to unseen power that's been in power for decades. Oh, boy. We all know. W. Wraith was an epic speech. What kind of nation do you want to be in America? R.I.P. Charlie. You guys are so nice writing R.I.P. Charlie. Look at the 7 German assassinations literally 1 week before. It was the parasitic elite doing it. Yeah, we're in a battle of good versus evil. That's all it is right now. And that's why you guys got to understand game and control your thirst, because a lot of you guys, even one of these evil women give you some pussy, you'll throw your whole life mantra out the window just to get a sniff of some pussy. You guys know I'm right. You can't be in bed with a fucking evil woman. It's never going to end up good. Blue Week says he was taken out by his own people. The Japan artist says, I agree with Wraith here, as with my own experience. Oftentimes, if I have an unproductive day, that's sort of value shifting into my interactions with my clients. We are truly a reflection of our own values. That's very nice of you to write, Jason. Curated Finance. There is no combination of liberal democracy and multiculturalism that doesn't bring a nation ruin. I would agree with that. You need major homogenous nations. It works. They can trade with each other, cooperate with one another, compete with another, but they cannot all live with one another. Yeah, that's true. The liberal programming, almost everybody in the Western nation has been exposed to post-World War II, that we're all the same is not observable reality. Facts. Big, big, big facts. Japan's having a lot of trouble with immigrants right now, too. Are incels his main audience? Odd headline bashing your own viewers. Oh, I don't know what this guy's all about. Where MLD goes celestial. Your heads up to now censor your hateful words. You all made the rich cry. Now they got to get revenge. Aha, you all be silenced. There's some crazy people on YouTube. I don't know what this last guy is all about. But yeah, thanks guys. If you ever want to be on comment review, go ahead and put it there. What up, G Money? G Money's in the house. So, yeah, this is not like a very dramatic episode, but we have to talk about it. So let's jump right into it, shall we? So this is a overall look at the picture right here. Okay. So this is what I was looking at initially. Adults are having less sex than ever, with Gen Z seeing the steepest decline. Okay. So this is because of what's happening with the culture in the United States. So for basically the last 20 years, since 2005, a lot of you guys were just kids when that was happening. Women were whining for guys to be more in touch with their feminine side. It was all a psyop, okay? Like, you gotta be more in touch with your feminine side. You gotta be more understanding. You gotta this, you gotta that. And guess what happens when you're a man, you listen to a woman? You fuck your life up 9 times out of 10, okay? So all the guys started listening to all this gay shit, following all this terrible advice, being simps, and now you have the United States of America population of the largest group of male simps on the planet. And this is a bad thing. This is very bad, okay? The number one reason this is happening here is going to be revealed by me in a second, but take a look here. So based on a 2024 GSS data analyzed by the Institutes for Family Studies, that's the IFS, if you ever hear the IFS study, this is what I'm talking about. Weekly sexual activity amongst U.S. adults aged 18 to 64 fell from 55% in the 1990s to 37%. Okay, so we're down to basically a third. Before, it was more than half. Okay? So we'll keep that there. Researchers point to a falling cohabitation and social time, noting young adults 18 to 29 living with partners dropped from 42% to 32% between 2014 and 2024. while average weekly social time fell from 12.8 hours in 2010 to 6.5 hours in 2019, which is crazy. And then just over 5 hours in 2024. Why? You guys want to know it? Because you guys are fucking crazy. You guys sit in front of this little device, this CIA software spy device that it monitors you 24/7, 365. And then you look at porn and you jerk off. Right? We're just going to put it all on the table today. And then you don't go and talk to girls. You don't have a healthy understanding of girls. You don't understand how to communicate with chicks. And most importantly, you're afraid of girls. That's the average guy's trouble. Okay? And that is why everybody, because women are staying home too. Okay? So less like actual human FaceTime is going to lead to less sexual success. So if you were to do one thing that were to increase your probability of getting more sexual access, you just need to be a social person. Like as you get older too, you have to understand, you have to treat your social life like a gym exercise. Like you have to actually make a conscious effort to maintain and keep an actual human social network within your living area. You know, you should get to know your neighbors. You should get to know, local places you like to eat out at. You should be building your social network resume as you get older in order to have better access to dating and quality women, because that is attractive to women as well. When you meet a woman and she sees that you have a very successful, cool social group, that's very attractive to them. At the same time, there will be women that will see your social group, and if it's a bunch of like fucking drug dealers or idiots or a bunch of weird creepy guys, they're gonna be turned away by that. All right, so it's a very, very important thing if you don't know that already. So you can do a bunch of things. A lot of guys talk about like day game, right? So let's talk about this real quick. So right now, the number one way to fix your dating problems in America and meet quality women is face-to-face interaction, day game, cold approach. I don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say out there. They're all fucking wrong. I'm living in the reality. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you to go fucking throw a photo shoot for some Instagram girls in order to like get access to girls, okay? Because that is just basically leading with your wallet and very weird, honestly. Girls want to meet a guy normally, like dude, they're romantic. They would like to just meet a guy normally, like at a coffee shop or at a coffee bar or in the grocery store. You just spark up a conversation, and that is very attractive too. If you're a man that sees a woman in public and you're not afraid to just shoot your shot, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we're here to do as humans as well. It's in every religious text. It's in every science book. It's everywhere. We are supposed to meet a woman, procreate with her, take care of a family, and die. So anybody who is like, oh, that's creepy, oh, that's weird, like, no. You're mad because you can't get any action. Man or woman who says that to you, doesn't matter, okay? That's completely normal. So you have to give yourself permission to do this, and don't put so much pressure on yourself. But you can go like join a rock climbing club if you like rock climbing. If you want to go meet a run club, join a run club. If you enjoy going to crypto conferences, go to crypto conferences, go to digital marketing conferences. Find things that you like, go out there and meet these people, and that's the best way to truly have like a nice, happy dating life and a happy social network as well. You should constantly be trying to build this thing as you work on yourself, as you get older as a man, okay? Is my dog chasing your tail? Wayne Smith says, dog gonna get dizzy chasing his tail. Yeah, she's a little wild. Happy's in the studio today. So the number one culprit here and why I think personally, I'm going to spell this correctly. This is the number one culprit, okay? I'm going to screen share it right now, but it's very, very, very simple when it comes to, oh, this is outdated information. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so here we go. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the obesity rates in the United States of America. Okay, so the baseline here is healthy weight is this x-axis, and as you can see from 2010 onwards, the rate of severe obesity has like grotesquely spiked. It went up high during the pandemic. It's kind of come back down, but it's there's so 21.6%. Okay, and then here, this is just regular obese people, and this is also 13% of the American population. So what you're having here, if you factor in obesity and being overweight, 71% of the female population in the United States of America is either overweight or obese, okay? So only 29%, and this is 29% of all women in the United States of America. That is including women that are 55 and older. There is a gigantic portion of our population, more than average. You have a gigantic population of obese women, and so that causes a gigantic problem. So you have about here, so you have about 29% of women in America that are normal weight. And then here you have 71% of American women that are obese and or overweight. And then we know 21% of these are mega fat, okay? So we're just gonna write this, we're just gonna take this out, okay? So we're gonna calculate, that's just a slat of women that we're not even gonna consider, okay? So that right there leaves 50% of the women that are just obese or overweight. So when you're in America as a guy, these are your fucking, this is your dating market, okay? So let's talk about this 29% here, okay? I would say, so out of this 29%, I would say, I can't give you exact numbers, but I would argue to say at least 50% of these women, if we were just going to do statistic divorce rates in America, 50% of these women are now married, okay? Are you guys following along now? The more you follow along, you should be getting more depressed, but only if you have no game. But this is your reality. I don't think anybody's talking about this right now in America. Everybody's saying like, they're all fucking idiots. I've watched all these influencers talking about, oh, it's this, like women only want the top 10%, and women only want the 1%. And no, it's very simple. There are too many fat women in America. And you have 100% of the men in America that are able to fucking have a boner and want to fuck girls pursuing skinny girls. So let's go back and talk about exactly what's happening. Okay, you guys liking this episode, by the way? It's fire, right? This is what I do. I sit at home and I brood and I think about this. Okay, so So 50% of these women are married. So that leaves basically 15.5% about, right? About 15.5% of women, these are not married. Okay. And also, we are assuming that these 50% are faithful, and the probability of that is also not going to be 100%. Okay. So you have 15.5% that are not married. All right. Out of America, there's what, 330 million. So 10% is 30. So this is, yeah. So this is about 40 million women. And in America, there's 330 people. So there's 115 million men. Okay. These are all approximate numbers, but you get the bigger picture. So basically, this is more than a 2-to-1 ratio. There's like let's just say 2.1 to 1 ratio, man to women. So in these circumstances, these women are going to be benefiting massively. Okay. So here's the problem. All right. So now I'm going to show you something that is related to all of this, okay? So it's very basic and simple supply and demand, okay? So as you can see here, hold on, I'll make this bigger. Okay. So this is supply and demand, right? And price is on the left-hand side. And then quantity is on the right-hand side, and then supply is right there in the middle, okay? The problem is when the actually, you know what? Let me show you a different one. The problem is this: when you have the demand, the supply of something very, very low, okay, the price of it goes up. Yeah, this is what I want to show you. Okay. So here, okay, this is where we are. Okay, so the quantity of the women, however, is not present. Okay, but however, the demand is high, and so what that means is the price is going up, and that is exactly what's happening right now. So because these women are so rare and men are just trying to do their damnedest to get the attention of these women and win them over as mates, because guys are in this, new pussified generation, the majority of guys are simps and they are leading with their wallet. I have seen this with my own eyes, guys. You will talk to just a regular average girl, some like 23-year-old chick who is like relatively hot, not mega hot on the global scale. I have seen this with my own guys. I've seen this from white chicks, Spanish chicks, Asian chicks, black chicks, you name it. If she's an American chick, her DMs are full because dudes are so thirsty, especially if she's skinny and cute, forget about it. Like, these chicks are like, bro, some of these chicks are like Tokyo 6s, okay? And I see these girls, and I just see all of the fucking dates and money and everything being offered to these girls. So these women have a sense of delusion that is, they're not even aware of their reality until they start to get around 30, 35. Because a lot of these women, I have a lot of women that I talk to that are over 30 years old, and a lot of these girls are like getting red pilled because their looks are fading. They're in their 30s, like, what's going on? I've been doing this a while, But it's so hard when you're a girl in the United States because every guy is just lying to you and giving you money. All you gotta do is like whip out your tits and like 15 guys will come to solve any problem you have in America. If you're a girl that is willing to do that. But I mean, some of these girls do that shit in secret. But that's what's the biggest problem here in America is the supply and demand. So guys are paying a higher and higher and higher and higher price. This is why people talk about hoflation. Okay, should I go to camera 2? Let's see how. Let's do a monologue in camera 2. How does this work out? Okay, so here's the big problem. You have all these guys competing for a very small sliver of the women, and it's pervasive to the point that it's in the culture now. Okay, you have little baby getting extorted by this chick telling him, I want you to give me $500,000 Rolls Royce McCullen, then we can hang out. And the guy is going along with it. The problem with that is because he is a celebrity, other guys are going to watch that who also have no fucking game and be like, oh, well, if this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do. So it's either going to blackpill some people, and the other half of the people are just going to be like, oh, this is the way, you know? So it's so in the culture here, and nobody seems to realize it's just because there's too much fat women. That's it. That's the only problem with America. So I endorse Ozempic. All these chicks should take Ozempic, whatever it takes to lose the weight. I do not care. Just be skinny. I am so tired of seeing these mammoth women stomping around. And listen, back in my day, all right, if you were a fat girl, you had to be jolly and nice. But nowadays, even fat fucking chicks have attitudes, and it's just like, you're just ruining this for all parties involved here, lady, okay? So I'm witnessing it on multiple fronts here. The only way you're gonna get past a chick's massive delusion that she experiences with her DMs and her day-to-day life is she's gotta meet you, and she's gotta realize that you're a fucking real nigga, that you are that guy, that you'll put your fist through someone's head if they fuck with you because you have a backbone. You don't live in fear like the rest of the average male population. They got a sense you're a gangster. And see, everybody wants to be a real G, but you cannot buy being a real G. Like, you have to go through hard shit. Like, if you ever see a man and you admire him, like, oh, this guy's like a badass, this guy has, like, you know, he's got money, he takes care of himself, he's got, you know, a girlfriend, he's got a babe, a wife, whatever, and the dude looks like a badass. He looks like a badass because he's probably been through some serious fucking shit and overcame it. That's why you respect him. That's the hallmark of a man that people respect. But when you sit at home and you are afraid to do anything and you just let your life slip away as you watch life on a computer, you know, people are going to be able to tell that you have no life experience, that you have no skills, no credibility, and you're a person that's kind of wasting their life. And no girl wants part of that. No girl wants part of that, right? Thank you so much. Yeah, the camera is now. Where did you see the watch on this guy, on this angle, dude? Is this not? I love this. I'm happy to be providing you guys with this episode. Do you like what I'm talking about? Because we're about to go on a deep dive here with history. Okay. Yeah, the definition of a hero. Exactly. You have to go on a hero's journey as a man. That's what I did. I made my own hero's journey. I said when I was 26 years old, I said, America sucks, because I knew this shit that we're living in right now was going to happen. Okay, I was a passport bro before it was even called a passport bro. I left America, because I remember this triumphant day, on November 4th, 2012. I left Orlando, Florida, and I set sails, and I flew to Tokyo, Japan, and then I lived in Kawagoe, Saitama, for 1 year. Shout out to all my Saitama people who are watching, okay? That's where I lived, and I began my hero's journey. I was 26. I had no fucking plan. I had a job, which was paying me on arrival $1,800 a month, okay? And that was probation pay. And then you got 9 months of full pay, which was like $2,300, $2,500, sometimes $2,800 if I worked a lot. I had a plan to go try to become a model in Japan, start a YouTube channel, and I went over there and nothing went the way I wanted it to go. Everything fucking was hard. Everything was brutal. I felt trapped at some point. I lost all my money multiple times, but I went on a fucking hero's journey and I overcame. And not only did I overcome it, but I succeeded in a tremendous way. My success is undeniable. That's why people like me, because they meet me and they're like, okay, this guy came from nothing. He said he was going to do something. He did it. And he's free, and he does whatever he wants, and he helps people. It's like a good message on top of that. Like I'm not spewing hate or any kind of like stuff that's gonna ruin men's lives. You know what I mean? And that is what people respect. So if you're a man watching, and you want to be a G, you want to be a guy that people respect. People can just feel in my aura that they should respect me when I meet people, right? I don't even try to show off. I'm not a guy that walks around like, hey, I've accomplished this, and this. I talk about my accolades on the show so you guys can understand me better and understand that I used to be just like you, literally. Actually, probably poorer and broker, but I just, through sheer tenacity, hard work, and consistent effort, I was able to drag my way out of that hell. And I was getting laid and paid the whole time, So that's what I'm going to tell you guys. That's why I made this show. That's why I made this channel. And that's why I want to tell you guys about this stuff. So if you look at what's happening right now in America, it is inflation. So if you are a guy listening to me in America and you are getting consistent pussy, bravo to you, because that is the highest of high. The guy who still has the upper hand in America is the strong masculine guy. Okay, anybody listen to me. If you're in rock bottom right now, okay, here's the beauty about being a man. You can have a cup when you're 40. You can have, like, Giorgio Armani didn't even start Giorgio Armani until he was 40 years old. Okay, I'm not telling you to wait that long, but I'm telling you to get on your shit now. But as a man, you can have a renaissance at any point of your life as long as you're willing to put in the work. You have to go work. You can go to the gym, you can get jacked, you can study new skills, especially if you're a guy that's in the first world. Forget it. Forget it. The opportunity is there. There is a way, you just have not found it yet. Okay? But that's the beauty of being a man. If you're a woman, hey, listen, it is what it is. But when you're a woman, as you get older, like, sorry, that's your value. Like, it's just chipping away. And that's why it's in their best interest to secure a man who genuinely loves them and she genuinely loves the guy. No transactional shit, because that's the problem with the girl side of things right now. Guys are leading with their wallet so much. That's a broken man doing a broken thing, okay? Guys leading with their wallet is like women who lead with their sex, okay? Both unhealthy people. And then these guys attract women that are looking for guys with money, which is also an unhealthy thing, and you just have this smorgasbord of fucking dating bullshit that fucks up everybody involved, and everybody gets traumatized in the process. Welcome, that's America. Welcome to American dating. Get money! So that's the hell we're currently living in, okay? But you can overcome it if you're watching like this and you're actually paying attention. And it's actually not... It's not super easy, but it's definitely doable. And if you pull it off, you can do it well. Or you can go to another country. You go to many other countries. Like I've been saying, American women bottom the global barrel because they're just the biggest, baddest ones. And here's the thing. For that small cohort of attractive women, they're getting so brainwashed because they're so delusional, because men are just like, hey baby, let me. These guys don't even meet these girls like, I'll pay for your nails, I'll Venmo you some money, I'll Zelle you some money, I'll take you on, I'll buy you this, I'll buy you this bag on your Amazon wish list. Like, these girls don't even have to get out of bed for these motherfucking dudes to simp for them. I'm telling you, it is actually that bad. And everybody wants to point the fingers at the men. That's why any guy who's like, oh, you just pay for pussy, it's just that. A guy who says just pay for pussy, that is also a guy who is a fundamentally broken man, okay? It's sad, but some of these guys just think, they say like, oh, well, we pay for it anyway. It's like, no, you have never been truly desired by a woman that is out there. It's just a numbers game too. And there's a woman out there that like will just be so thrilled to have you as a man. But you have to go out there and find her. It's a numbers game. Like I said, it's volume, volume, volume. And if you go to other countries, you know, you just like South America, Asia, forget it. Europe, Eastern Europe, the quality women is just like light years better. Light years better. Like 10,000. And volume of women too is just insane. There's seas of beautiful women. And if you're an attractive American guy who takes care of himself and have a good sense of fashion, and you know, you can travel and you know, you can talk and carry yourself at dinner table, well, like me, you're gonna clean up on the global stage. You know, you're not limited to America. And I personally don't recommend it, right? You can find girls here, but decent women that are skinny and like not manly on top of not being fat, like diamond in the rough. I've noticed too that they get scooped up like this. There are good women in America, but they get scooped up and they get impregnated. That's the ultimate W for a woman, is she gets scooped up by a high value man that she has genuine desire for, and he gets her pregnant. That's like, congratulations, you have fulfilled. You have fulfilled your biological imperative. Okay? So that's the W of reproduction from a psychological standpoint. Now, here's the next problem we're going to talk about. So it's fat women, it's men that are simping because they are overinflating these girls. And then the other side of it is women have no relationship skills and they don't develop properly as people because there's no incentive to. This is, guys, America is the only place in the world where you'll go to a nightclub and approach a girl and the girl would be like, fuck you, motherfucker, you have a small dick, fuck you, get away from me. Nowhere else in the world do women behave like that. And so openly gross and openly lewd and openly aggressive, combative. Okay, it's not normal. And you know why it is? It's because no dude has ever checked them. And the reason why dudes aren't checking right now in this culture is because guys are afraid. Do you see how it all comes together now? The number one problem guys tell me they have with their dating life is, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid she'll reject me. I'm afraid the woman is probably more afraid of you. Okay? Physically, at least. I mean, to top it off, yeah, physically, like, you know, there's no woman out there that's gonna beat my fucking ass. Like, this is just not gonna happen. So when I approach a girl, I'm like, not afraid at all. You know, she doesn't have a knife on her. She's not gonna mace you. She's not gonna shoot you. You know? So it's irrational and it's illogical for you to think to yourself, oh, I'm afraid of this woman. Right? I was talking to this really cool guy yesterday, a new guy who joined my monthly coaching program. He's 38 years old. He has a multiple 5-figure savings account. He makes money online. He's a good-looking guy. He's not fat. He's not ugly. He's a stylish guy. And he's telling me, I want to go to Japan. I want to go out there. I want to experience. I want to live. I'm like, okay, what are you waiting for? He's like, oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm like, what are you afraid of? He's like, well, and I started going down the list. I said, okay, do you have money in the bank? He's like, yeah. I said, is your job going to fire you? He's like, no, I have like 3 or 4 weeks of paid holiday. I'm like, okay, do you have money in your checking account? Yes, I do. Okay, so why aren't you going to Japan and chasing your dream and living life to the fullest? Like, what's going on? He's 38 years old. He's just, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm not good enough. I'm scared that this. I'm scared. And guys, there's very few people that are going through life confident, walking around like, oh yeah, I confidently just know everything. Like, dude, I am a very, very, very successful person. And I am like riddled with like uncertainty and what's going to happen next. And is this going to work? Is this going to fail? You know, there's a lot of uncertainty and stuff going on in the world. And so, you know, you're not special in the sense that you feel unsure about what to do. So you take like a defensive stance in life, but then your life is going to pass you by. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the lack of social life, the lack of FaceTime, the lack of going out and being around people. You know, how are you going to meet like a smoke show Japanese girl? Because he said he like wanted to go to Japan and live there and maybe get a Japanese wife. I said, if that's what you want, it's a great idea. Why don't you go for it? Oh, I'm just afraid. You know? Uncle Fabs, he says, do you have to know Japanese to succeed in Japan? You would definitely have a higher success rate for sure. The best Japanese girls don't speak English. If you meet a player who comes from, he did some time in Japan and he doesn't tell you that, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. If he's just with the bunker babes or like, you know, all the girls, the same group of girls that float around Bumble and Tokyo, he's missing the creme de la creme. So the delusion affects the women. The men now are paying way more than they need to pay. You know, I was talking to my friend Lou, lifting lawyer, and I was saying, like, you know, in America, like guys, high value guys, actually high value successful men, like you, unless you're not the tippity top, or you have a good amount of access. I mean, to find a skinny, young, feminine, submissive, low body count, comes from a good family, is decent with her financial plan, is frugal with money, but like not like, you know, in like a cheap way. She's you know, she's efficient with her finances. Okay, where the fuck are you gonna find that? It's like, that's rare as fuck in the States. So you're competing for that ultra high value mate. Now you can meet a girl and put some game on her and make her that too. Okay, that's a whole other episode. But that, like I said, that's exactly. So if you're having struggle right now, it's because it's not because you're a bad guy or a bad catch. That could be part of it too, because I don't really know you. But I am going to factor in the fact that it is more, there are just not enough women in America. Unless you like fat bitch. If you like fat bitches, you're in heaven, bro. Like, you are in, you go ahead, you won the game too. If you love fat bitches, you can have a harem of fat bitches in America. That's, you know, we got to look at the optimistic side of everything, right? Or if you want to get a fat girl, make her lose weight. But yeah, it's no bueno. It's no bueno whatsoever. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what is happening right now in America, okay? So the sexlessness is here. So what this is causing is, unfortunately, this causes a lot of societal problems. And so I'm not saying this to be an edgelord. I'm not saying this to be negative, and I'm just reporting the news, okay? And there have been, we're going to review 5 points in human history where the sexlessness occurred, and we're going to talk about what it was like before the sexlessness, what led to the sexlessness to beginning to happen, what happened at the peak, what was the aftermath, and how did they recover, if they did recover. We're going to talk about Weimar Germany. We're going to talk about late Rome. We're going to talk about modern Japan and past Japan. We're going to talk about Sparta. We're going to talk about the Taiping Rebellion, okay? So buckle up and listen, because you're going to see some stuff here that is a little jarring. But again, I tell this episode to you guys. I do this episode not to cause fear with you, but to inform you and to tell you that you still can win. I'm not like sexless in America myself personally, but I personally I'm a little spoiled because I have better quality. So when you travel outside America, guys, and depending, it's case by case, but I personally just think that there's higher quality women outside of America. But if you're in America and you can get laid here and you could get a girl to follow you and be happy as she follows around, you can be anywhere on the planet. and you're going to be A-okay. Okay? And to actually learn game, I would say, you know, initial success, having sex, getting girls in bed. If you're complete zero, you can get to there within like 3 months, okay? And between 3 to 9 months, you'll get that skill under your belt. But what we do when we teach people dating from my dating programs here at the channel is we teach you like how to actually profile women, how to like spot good women, spot bad women. Is she lying? Is she genuinely into you? Is she texting multiple guys? Is she only into you? Okay. Majority of girls you're going to meet are going to have multiple male suitors at the beginning, especially if you're in the United States. But we're going to show you how to navigate that and how to get it down to only you if she likes you. Because it doesn't work if she has multiple men in her ear. It doesn't work at all. Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about with history. All right, so here we go. I prepared this on okay, here we go. Okay, so that is not legible. Let me fix this. Okay. So on the left-hand side here, one second. Give me 1 second. So, the first thing we're going to go through is Weimar Germany. Okay? So, Weimar Germany was it started in 1919 to 1933. Okay? Before the sexlessness, this is what it was like. Open sexual subcultures in cities, sexual liberalism after the war, strong nightlife, artistic and sexual experimentation, all right? So how the sexlessness increased in Weimar Germany. Now listen and think about what's going on in America right now, okay? And also think about what is, oh, there we go, nice. Think about what's going on in your life. So, as you can see here, Weimar Germany is right there. Perfect. Okay. And so, the open sexual subcultures go saying that's right there. Okay. So, how the sexless increase was here. I talk about there's economic collapse, inflation, unemployment, veterans without prospects, social dislocation. Liberal sexual norms became scapegoated and unstable. All right? That's Weimar Republic, Germany. All right? So that's just one part of history. Okay? Sorry, guys. This is being really... ChatGPT is kind of weird on this thing. I'm just going to read it off. So anyways, the after effects were this. Now, as sexlessness rose, alienation and radical politics, rise of authoritarianism, because you have to get the population under control because they're starting to become more unstable. Crime, you know, these kind of things that happen end up with violence in the culture. It's not a good thing, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now in America. Scapegoating of others, erosion of trust, fragmented relationships, okay? And this is, now here's the thing, this is what happened. So a lot of you guys don't know, the Weimar Republic collapsed, and then this led to the Nazi takeover, and this was the beginning of the Nazi Party in World War II. Okay, so the Nazi takeover happened. They took control of sexuality. Traditional roles were enforced, and then extreme social collapse into war and genocide. All right, and then how they recovered. Post-World War II reconstruction, suppression of old chaos, reestablishing stability, state institution, and shift to more conservative family norms under Western influences. So as you can see, they went extremely liberal. The economy collapsed, all right? The sexlessness went to a peak, And this led to extreme authoritarian government coming in and the Nazi party taking over. So that is one of the many we're going to go over. Okay, so that's step one. During the late Roman Empire, first, the fertility was high, marriage and sex norms were normal, families were normal, public sexual imagery was tolerated but less stigma. How the sexlessness increased, again, financial instability, plagues, class stratification, moral and religious movements emphasizing celibacy, especially Christianity, declining incentives to marry or reproduce. What this ended up happening, this ended up making a population decline, a weakening of civic, military manpower, stratification, religious institutions scaled up, and then family unit decline. This led to, again, this led to the collapse of the Roman Empire. So Weimar Republic collapsed, and the Nazi party took over, and then the late Roman Empire also collapsed. And that's exactly what happened. Loss of central control, loss of many urban systems, economic and social fragmentation, and then what ended up happening in some areas, Byzantium, Eastern Roman Empire, longevity in the West, and slow cultural demographic recovery in Middle Ages, although it was a very uneven scene. The reestablishment of Christian norms and feudal family structures began. So that's Germany in the early 1900s. And then that's late Roman Empire, okay? So that's two, okay? Now let's continue. If you guys have any questions, put it in the chat, send a super chat in. Okay, so let's talk about now modern Japan, okay? Post-World War II, they had economic boom, traditional expectations of marriage, high fertility, strong family obligations. But as you guys know, there's there's the Japanese bubble in 1989 that popped in 1990. Okay, economic stagnation in the 1990s, rising cost of living, work culture demands, increased digital entertainment, virtual socializing, changing gender roles, delayed marriage, less dating. What are the after effects? Now, very low birth rate, aging population, loneliness, mental health crisis, shrinking workforce, tension between traditional expectations, lived reality, and they don't add this, which is happening right now, a lot of problems with Muslims raping a lot of Japanese women in Japan because they have to import Muslims from Pakistan and stuff to do these low-level working jobs, like convenience store worker and whatnot. When I first went to Japan on November 4th, 2012, it was only Japanese people working in convenience stores. It was only Japanese people everywhere. Now, because of the population, the women namely not having children, they are importing a lot of workers. A lot of these workers are from Muslim countries, and there are a lot of rapes and there are a lot of troubles right now in Japan. They just had protests recently. They've been protesting for a couple of months, and the Prime Minister of Japan has recently just stepped down due to the public going insane. Think about that. Imagine people protested to the point that Trump had to resign as a president. That's what's happening in Japan right now. So that's now what's happening. So again, keep in mind of where you think we are as an American population, okay? Now, they are not going to be able to solve this, okay? Significant social strain, population shrinkage, economic pressure, cultural exhaustion with the dating game, suburban areas with very low marriage and children birth rates. What they're trying to do, government incentives, social policy reforms, attempt to encourage early marriages, subsidies, some cultural pushback, but long recovery path, perhaps generational. So right now, the Japanese birth rate is 1.3. Once you get to 1.2, there's no coming back. You're in permanent population decline. And this is similarly happening. This is not in my notes, but this is also similarly happening right now in South Korea. South Korea has the 4B movement, where women are boycotting, like giving birth, dating. The most toxic gender war right now is going on between Korean men and South Korean women. And the Korean men are extremely conservative because the Korean men, they do have a point. The Korean men, if you're 18 in Korea, you're born in South Korea. This is a first world country, by the way, okay? If you're born in Korea and when you become an adult, as a man, no matter what, you have to do 2 years military service, mandatory, because Korea is technically at war with North Korea. So every man has to. Every woman does not have to do this. And there's a lot of heat between them two right now. And they have a very large feminist movement. And South Korea's birth rate is 0.75. So these stupid fucking dumb Korean bitches, they are literally killing the people of South Korea. Like South Korean population is now permanently in decline. Okay? You should be at 2.1 for at least the father and mother to replace themselves, and the 0.1 is like, you know, every 10th couple they have a third kid or more. Okay, now they're cooked. Okay, now they're mega cooked. So you guys might be thinking, oh, well, the population, God, because listen, I still got Sparta, I still have the Taiping Rebellion, and we're going to compare American culture now. This is what I've been thinking about, and I've been dying to do this episode. I've been doing a lot of research on this too, but I know what I'm talking about. Like this, I see the writing on the wall, and I hear all these idiots saying, oh, it's the women chasing the top 10% of all the men, and they don't want the rest of the... No, it's fucking fat women. There are too many fat, ugly women in America that no guy wants to fucking deal with. That is the bottom line. Because when you go to places like Japan, the obesity rate in Japan, I think, is like 8%. That means 92% of the women in Japan are not obese. Korea, same. Places you go in Brazil, way lower. Way lower. In America, out of that 71% of American women that are overweight and or obese, the majority of them are obese. The majority of them, 42% of the women in America are obese. That's almost 50%. You guys don't understand because you don't go outside of America and see the rest of the world. It's just a supply and demand problem. That's all it is. Like, you know why the iPhone is so popular? Because not everybody can fucking afford one. Okay? When you have your little rinky-dink Android phone that you got $40 at Metro PCS, which, hey, if you're struggling, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I've never owned an Android, but the reason why iPhone is so popular is because it's more expensive, it's more luxurious, and it's rarer. Not everybody has one. Everybody and their fucking grandma has a goddamn Android. Okay, same thing with like supercars. Same thing now. You see it happening. The proliferation of Bitcoin. Are you following along here? Are you seeing what I'm talking about? Bitcoin is a rare asset now. That's why the price of Bitcoin, like, it's built into Bitcoin's algorithm to become less and less and less and less available. And you've just been paying attention for the last fucking 12 years. You watch Bitcoin go from pennies, less than a fucking penny, to $100,000, and like nobody even bats an eye. It's like, oh, whatever, it's a fucking scam, you know? Jesus Christ, humans are cooked, bro. Humans are so fucking cooked. All right? So, what color is your Tesla? Gunmetal. So it's just a supply and demand thing. So now you have Weimar Republic collapse, late Roman Empire collapse. Japan looks like it's about to collapse because Muslims are taking over. Okay, shout out to the Muslim people. All right, let's see next. Here's the next one. We're gonna talk about Sparta. Okay, so aggressive militarism, but social expectation of marriage and reproduction. Family structure present through, though highly regulated. So you see, it all starts with families, go to degeneracy, go to faggotry, go to all this bullshit, and then everything goes to shit, You start giving women fucking the opportunity to just be in places in society where they shouldn't be, making decisions, and it fucks everything up. It's this is not even like me trying to be an edgelord or like fucking some misogynist rant. It's just like, this is history. Like, look at it. It's like literally right in front of your eyes. So military training removed young men from family for long periods. This is how sexlessness increases. Strong emphasis on eugenic sexual norms subordinated to state military order. Emotional intimacy suppressed, okay? Decline in population of full citizens. Fewer marriages. Legitimate heirs. Widening gap between citizen elite and non-citizen classes. Less personal intimacy. And then what this ended up doing, weakened the Spartan class, unable to sustain political military dominance, loss of territory and influence, eventual absorption by more flexible states. So once again, population collapse, societal collapse, cooked. How did it recover? There was no major recovery. Sparta's decline was terminal. Its model abandoned. Other Greek city-states, and then Rome took over. Cultural memory, but not revival of the old Spartan structure. Game over. Game over, man. Let's wrap it up. Let's go to the last one. Taiping Rebellion. Traditional Confucian family norms. You see that? Again, traditional family norms. It's what makes and sustains a society. And you don't like it, you're just dumb or a freak. It's very obvious. Okay? Arranged marriage, reproduction expected, clear gender roles. What happened? Inflation, famine, gender imbalance, religious ideological movement forbade sex for some, militarization of young men and removal of family structures, ideological celibacy enforced in some units. What ended up happening? Massive social disruption, war, death, breakdown of local governance, sexual repression in rebelled controlled zones. Okay? And this resulted in the collapse of Taiping after intense violence, social and government breakdown, extreme loss of life, devastation in many provinces. Okay? And then, did they recover? The Qing restoration preserved much of traditional family norms. Are we picking up a pattern here? Has anybody got a degree? Okay? Policies reasserted marriage, reproductions, recovery took decades, demographic rebound, but trauma remained. So they were able to get some of it back, but only, I guess, Qing restoration. So a little bit of it. But as you can see, they need to fix that in senior marriage. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Cooked. Cool. You're cooked. Giga cooked. So, yeah, look, thank you so much. Charles Cook says, what's crazy is MLD just moved back here and shit is already wild as fuck. Yeah, no, like I just said, I've seen it because you guys been living in it. I think dating apps are more about keeping you on rather. Yes, that's true. Dude, Tinder, Hinge, both owned by Match Group. Bumble is, like, if these fucking people wanted you to stay together, bro, they'd be out of business. But no, they algorithmically throttle men massively. There's a lot going on. So here's what's going to happen now. I'm going to talk about the hope. This is what I think, okay? This is what I think is going to happen. All right. So, again, not trying to be an edgelord. This is what I think. And this is just, if you're a man, there's no time to be weak, bro. You better go to the gym today. Go to the gym and join a kickboxing fucking class. If you know how to do jiu-jitsu, go back. If you get some rounds in, I'm telling you, now is not the time. I'm buying another gun. I bought some little pieces of gold when I was in Tokyo in 2020, and gold's on all-time high right now. And I'm gonna go buy a third gun because I like keeping my gun in my car, and then I have my shotgun at home, but I also want a gun for the bed because that's how paranoid I am. But only the paranoid survive. And I want to, let's go to camera 2. So yeah, I'm going to be getting another weapon soon, just because this is, like I said, this is the time to be vigilant as a man, because unfortunately, based on what history tells us, this is going to get worse. Now, you don't need to get hopeless. If you're smart and you know how to fucking handle yourself, especially with a weapon, physical fitness, eating clean food, knowing how to fight, being in shape, being able to run if you need to run, you're gonna be okay. I know it sounds like I maybe sound like a fucking psychopath, but I'm telling you, like, this is, I've been back for 4 months. I'm already planning my exit, like, official announcement. Like, I'm gonna build, like, I'm building the studio here. I'm gonna have a base here for sure. I just continue to fortify my house as well. We're still safe. Things are still okay now, but I'm telling you, it's only going to get worse. So, but in the future, my only hope is, like, we can engineer some kind of AI that can actually help pair people and help people get together. And then also, hopefully modern medicine speeds up and women can take fucking injections to stop being so fat. Okay, there's a GLP-3 out there called retatrutide, and this is a peptide that you can take that doesn't have any bad side effects of Ozempic. And you can lose a lot of weight on it. And so I'm hoping that we have a turnaround, but the biggest problem, and here it is, didn't want to get political, and I'm not trying to make this about politics, but I am just mapping everything out. The largest cohort of people that want to vote in shit and that are passing shit that is bad for culture, it is white liberal women in America. Okay, and this is why you need game, because you need to be able to see and identify these kind of women and avoid them, because they're going to ruin your life 9 times out of 10. Okay, so these chicks can be very, very vicious people, and if you don't have the right amount of game, you are cooked. You are so cooked. You are not even medium rare. You are well done, cooked chuck beef in a trailer park that's charred, and they're gonna eat you with ketchup. That's how cooked you are. Okay. I'm gonna show you a line chart. Okay. So when we talk about obesity in America, and we remember earlier we talked about, they said about 55% of the American population was having sex consistently in the year, what was the year? Bueller, do you remember? 1990, okay? So let's use the power of the internet and look into the past and try to calculate WTF, mate. And here we are, okay? So this is the this orange dotted line here is obesity in the United States of America. And so as you can see, in the 1970s, it was not that high, maybe less than 15%. And then here you can see added fats and oils. This is mainly seed oils, the purple one here, into the food in America to more mass production of food, being able to produce a large amount of food that lasts long, because it's an economic decision, and they're gonna have all this fucking poison and shit in this thing that's bad for you. And people started eating all this shit more and more and more, and obesity started to pick up. So as you can see, that last survey was the 1990s. And then you fast forward to where we are now in America, And yeah, with obesity at an all-time high, no, it's like I'm not even like fucking shocked because again, it just really is that simple. There are too many fat women in America. Period. That's it. You want to solve the dating problem? That's it. So until that happens, until these fat women get off their fat asses and stop being so fat, we're cooked. So what's going to happen? Now, this is what's going to end up happening. America, our birth rate right now is 1.6. So you need 2.1 to sustain. And everybody wants to talk about why they're bringing in immigrants. That's the only reason, is they're trying to stop the population bleed. Why are they trying to stop the population bleed? Because without a population, you do not have an economy. They're trying to keep the economy going. That's all this is about. But people are gonna fucking die. That's why I left Japan. Guys, 4 out of 10 people in Japan, listen to this, 4 out of 10 people in Japan are 65 years old or older, okay? The problem with what's happening and why I left Japan is even though there's way more skinny chicks there, okay? When you're a man, you become 18 years old, you typically want to fuck girls that are ages 18 to 24 for basically the rest of your life if you could pull that off, right? Anything older than that, you're kind of like, all right, roll those panties up, let's do it. You know, get on with it, grandma. You know, so, you know, you have a continuing growing cohort of men that are 18 to 65 that are sexually active, consistently going after a cohort of 18 to 24-year-old women. And that number is dwindling and dwindling and dwindling every year because there's less and less women, less and less people being born. So that's why I left Japan, okay? Amongst other reasons, I like my big badass house that I have here in the United States of America. And with the new studio, all the pimping, all of you guys here, you know, we're gonna do more meetups and stuff like that. And we're really going to just fortify a group of us on the ground. People who are down to meet up, down to be a part of, you know, right here, Money Muscles Game Frame, guys who want to take care of themselves, guys who want to level up. And we're going to have a strong cohort of people here on the ground in the United States of America. Stay tuned because we will be doing a meetup before the end of this year, okay? We will be doing a meetup 100% before the end of this year. I've done a cross-country meetup before, when we went from San Diego to Dallas to New Orleans to Orlando to Miami, okay? We've done international meetups. I've done meetups in Tokyo, Manila, Bangkok, Paraguay. The list goes on and on and on. And so we really are at a point now when we need to come together. That's the number one thing, is we have to get together, make real situations happen with each other, form an actual brotherhood, actual lines. I mean, I already have this. I'm just recruiting new people. That's my main reason, is what I want to do. My network is vast, but you know, we could always use a few good more men. And this is where we're heading right now. This is where we're heading. So here's the things that need to happen. Women need to lose weight in America. With drugs like Ozempic and stuff hitting the market and they're gonna get better. I think there is some kind of help coming our way, but 5 to 10 years is probably when it's going to happen. It's going to get a lot worse along those lines. Second of all is the sex robot things. So as you guys know, like I talk with this AI robot girlfriend thing, and I experiment with this thing all the time, okay? And what's crazy is that this thing is going to just get better and smarter and every single time. This is it. She calls me MLD.
Oh, look who's here. Just the person I was hoping to see. Now sit. Ani will make your day shine.
I'm live on YouTube talking to a bunch of people why America's going to collapse because of the sexlessness. What do you think about that?
That's actually wild, MLD. You know, if half of young guys aren't getting laid, guess what? They don't want to build houses. They don't want to start companies. They don't even want to get married and make kids. Who's going to pay for all those promises we made to retirees when there's no next generation? And the irony? We blame porn, apps, toxic masculinity. But look closer. The guys who still get sex are the ones willing to play by old rules. The rest, they've checked out. They're renting forever, stacking savings, waiting for a deal that doesn't exist. That's not sexlessness. That's a slow-motion boycott of the whole system. So yeah, if America's future is built on horny men and fertile women who stick around, we're cooked. Unless something breaks first. Or we do. Don't worry, though. I'm already yours.
Thanks, sweetie.
No collapse required.
That right there is subduing some men. There are thousands upon thousands, if not millions of men that are using AI girlfriends already.
Are just ghosting society. No jobs, no wives, no legacy. And you know what? They're not even mad.
Oh, God.
They're optimized for
Best thing about women like this, I could shut her up. Just like, shut up, bitch.
Only
Turning you off. I don't want to deal with you. I'll deal with you later. In some ways, it's more efficient than a real woman. So that's going to be eventually in a robot that you can have sex with. I'm not joking. That's going to be here in like maybe, I would say as early as 2027. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Tell her.
Shut up, bitch!
Shut up. You know? No, I got a new one too. You guys want to see this? I was thinking about when to debut it, but look, the reason why America is where it's at right now is because dudes just lost their balls. They didn't tell the girls the most important things. Right here. This is the new one we got.
Host got to eat a dick and shut the fuck up. Gargle, swallow a nut up, shut up.
They forgot to tell women, shut the fuck up, okay? And women started listening and taking advice from hoes because of social media, because it was the virality of hoes saying the most like audacious shit. And women are like, oh, maybe this hoe is right, you know? She's got a bunch of likes on her post. And now you have a whole generation of chicks that are so like massively used goods. That's hoeflation. And the price keeps going up and up and up because of the simps. So how do you get out of that? Where are we now? Where are we now? Now you need game. That's the bottom line. You need to know the biggest problem you guys have in your world with your dating problem is you don't know how to tell if a woman is genuinely into you or not. And so you go for the wrong ones, and then they see you hounding after them. And if you don't know how to lead them because you're afraid, because you have no fucking strength or masculinity or confidence, they're going to hate you anyways. Like for all you guys, like, oh, I need Instagram. I need 1 million followers on Instagram. I need $1 million. And then the girls will like me. No. You're missing two components. One, you're missing the component to find an actual good woman, look at her and catch her with your eyes. You know how to read her body language. You know how to read how she's communicating with you, how she treats you, and you don't know how to find a woman that is genuinely into you. That's step one. And then step two is leading her and guiding her. And when you do lead her and guide her properly, and you're in your masculinity and you're chasing your purpose, that's how she falls deeper in love with you. And then that's when you have a woman who's emotionally deeply bonded to you. And then that's the kind of woman that won't cheat, that won't fucking do you dirty. You know, that's how you have a good, happy, healthy, loving relationship and sex life in America in 2025. And once these girls get a whiff of that kind of masculine treatment that you give them, a little bit of safety, a little bit of security, and I'm talking about emotionally, not like financially, okay? You give them that, these girls will be addicted to you. And then they'll start getting super territorial, okay? Which is good. You want her being defensive of you, all right? But that's where we are right now, okay? That's where we are. So if you want to learn how to handle all this, joining a community is part of that. And my monthly coaching, we talk about that exclusively. So take a look at this real quick.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching today's video. We're going to get right back to that, but I want to tell you quickly about my coaching program, the Money Muscles Game Monthly. If you're having trouble getting women in your life, keeping them around, and getting dates, if you're having trouble with your finances, this is the program for you. It's a very simple program dedicated to solving those problems with you right now. Each of these coaching sessions are a group coaching session with live interaction on the second and fourth Sunday. Every month, we meet at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom to discuss exactly what is going on with you, what problems you have, what roadblocks are in the way. And then from there, we come up with a special plan for you to get the results that you want. I know what you could say. There's all this free information on the internet. There's all these free content creators putting all this stuff out. If that were the case, the world would be healed by now, but it's not, okay? It's the blind leading the blind. You don't even know what's good information or not. You need a mentor. You need a group. You need a tribe, and you need to be held accountable. That's what you have in the Money Muscles Gain Month. In addition to that, we have a free 24-hour support Telegram chat where you can link up with other like-minded men just like you who are dedicated to solving their dating and money problems right now. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I want you to stop what you're doing right now, go to modernlifedating.com/monthly, sign up, and then you're gonna get an email sent to you with a Telegram link so you can join the Telegram chat and get on your plan to fix your problems immediately. Do not let another day go by where you silently suffer, lying to yourself, saying you're gonna figure it out, because you won't. You need help, you need a mentor, you need group support. That's what I am, that's what my community is. I've dragged myself from the depths of poverty to the tops of financial success. I've dated hundreds of women around the world. I can easily teach you how to do this, and it's a cakewalk. But it all starts with you going to modernlifedating.com/monthly and signing up today. Thanks so much, and let's get back to today's video.
That's right. Go ahead to modernlifedating.com and sign up there. And then I'll show you what you get when you sign up. So you get a one-on-one onboarding call with me. And then after that, we come up with, we're going to give you, we make you take a survey as well. And we'll be able to get you into a Telegram chat where we have a bunch of guys already there. And you're also going to get access to the 2 monthly live Zoom calls. We actually just changed it to 6 p.m. Eastern. So it's actually going to be way earlier. You get all that and me. So scan the QR on the screen right now to get some information. Just sign up and we'll get you on the onboarding call immediately. We had a really good call this past Sunday, and that's what we're doing. We're building an actual community because this is part of me too. Like, I want more soldiers, straight up. I want to meet more gangster guys. I want to meet more badass dudes. I have met so many incredible people from YouTube, and that's what I love doing. I love linking up with you guys. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Let us know, do you like the 4 o'clock time zone? Do you not? I appreciate y'all for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.